Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the Social.in Weekly. This is the first weekly of 2020, and this week on the Social Media Weekly, we're talking about Google's top searched terms of the decade. We're talking about Facebook making some weird changes to their Messenger application, and we're talking about the California Consumer Privacy Act 2020. A day of reckoning has come. Let's get started. So the first story we have for you today is a story that happened in December 2019, but we couldn't talk about it then because of all the news that we had to cover. Google has made a change to their Google My Business page where local listing reviews will show up as a scrollable carousel on the top of the page, right below the business name and right above the contact information. Now, if you've learned anything from watching this show, it's that your Google My Business page is super important to your business success. This change was first spotted by a user called Anil and later confirmed by a Google spokesperson. If you haven't started responding to your Google My Business page reviews, I suggest you do so right now. The next story has to do with the Google Travel app. So here's a timeline of the journey. Google launched the Google Travel app in May of 2019, and then they killed off the Google Trips app in August of 2019, but they split it up into smaller pieces and placed it inside Google Search, Google Maps and other Google services. Now it turns out that Google has brought back Trips inside the progressive web app of Google Travel. If you go over to google.com/travel, you will see a progressive app with access to all your previously saved trips. Trips were useful because they aggregated all of your itinerary, reservation and map information, and they saved it offline without having you be distracted by other navigational information. Perhaps this is an indication that in the future, the Google Travel app will also include Google Trips information. Our next story has to do with the fastest rising searches of the decade. So Google Trends, there is a link in the description right next to that like button, has put out a report showing us the fastest rising searches of the decade. In 2019, the best search was Disney Plus because of The Mandalorian and Baby Yoda. In 2015, the best search was for Lamar Odom, and in 2010, the best search was for the Apple iPad. It's striking that 2 of the top 3 searches of the decade belong to companies, showing you the power of digital marketing. And also when it comes to Song of the Year, in 2019 the Song of the Year was obviously Old Town Road, and in 2010 the Song of the Year was Pants on the Ground. Shows you how far we've come, doesn't it? Other searches in the decade include Paul Walker, Robin Williams and Whitney Houston. Our next story has to do with everyone's favorite social network, Facebook.com. So they've made a change to Messenger whereby if you do not have a Facebook account, you can no longer sign up for Messenger. In 2015, Facebook opened up Messenger so that all you needed was a phone number for you to sign up for Messenger. Now, it turns out that if you signed up with a phone number, your account will be restricted, although Facebook denies this, and in future you can only sign up for Facebook Messenger using a Facebook account. This foreshadows the unification of all of Facebook's messaging services across Messenger, WhatsApp and Instagram Direct. Our final story of this episode has to do with the California Consumer Privacy Act 2020. A reckoning has come. So after a year and a half of discussion and with 6 months of grace period still remaining, the California Consumer Privacy Act 2020 has gone into effect. Here are the broad provisions. 1. Companies need to tell you what of your personal information they are collecting, for what purpose they are collecting it, and to whom they are going to be transferring it. 2. Consumers have the option of opting out of this collection and companies cannot take retaliatory action. And 3. Companies have the option of giving consumers actual financial incentives for them to share their data. It looks like Tech Armageddon has come, and if you'll excuse me, it looks like I'm moving shop to California so that I can sue all of these big technology companies. That's about it for this episode, guys. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Let us know in the comment section down below what you think of the CCPA. Subscribe to the Social.in channel on YouTube. Ring that notification bell so that you never miss an episode, and we will see you guys in the next week's episode.